6,000 Amazon warehouse workers will hold union vote in Alabama on February 8th. An NLRB hearing officer ruled on Friday that Amazon warehouse workers in Alabama can hold a union vote starting on February 8th. Good shit. Decision means Amazon will face its first union vote in the United States since 2014. The ruling kicks off what will closely watch a union vote at one of the nation's largest employers. Unions have a stronger foothold in some of the Amazon's European workforce. The company's largely managed to thwart organizing efforts in the U.S. I wonder how. I wonder how they've managed to do that. Banned. Yeah, I don't know, but hey. Time to run an ad, boys. It's top of the hour every hour. 60-second ad break coming to you right now. If you'd like to use those sweet Bezos bucks, you can use them right here, right now, with a click of a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your... Fun fact, Jeff Bezos makes more money an hour than all of his warehouses combined do in an hour. Wait, what? Yeah, no shit. What? This is not a fun fact. It's a sad fact. Anyway, gotta run that ad, boys. Gotta run that ad, boys. I'll tell you what. Bessemer, Alabama will cast their ballots beginning on February 8th to be represented by the Retail Wholesale Department Store Union. Ballots must be received by the NLRB's regional office by March 29th, and the board will begin counting ballots beginning at 10 a.m. CT on the following day. Decision represents a blow to Amazon, which is pushed for the election to be held in person at the Bessemer facility known as BHM1. I wonder why they would want to hold it in person. An RWDSU spokesperson declined to comment. Amazon didn't respond to a request for a comment. Amazon spokesperson previously said the company doesn't believe that RWDSU represents the majority of our employees' views. I would love to find out what they are saying to those fucking warehouse workers every goddamn day. You'll get a bonus if you... Why spend your union dues? I mean, come on. You keep more money in your pocket. The union doesn't defend you. They're corrupt. Come on. Come on. Come on. We'll let you not pee in a bottle. Come on. Come on. I think it has something to do with this. Sea shanties are out. Irish battles about killing English soldiers are in. Wait, what? Really? I don't think I had something to do with that. Yeah, you can get a PS5. Come on. Come on. Want to use your union dues? I mean, don't you think it's a better way to just spend those dollars on a PS5, dude? Doesn't Amazon literally have anti-union rhetoric in their training programs? Hello? Are you new to the United States of America? Literally every company does that. Have you ever seen a training video? Every single company in the United States of America has anti-union and anti-labor union. All companies do. Across the board. If you've ever worked in like retail or if you've ever worked in like any fucking corporation, especially ones that like revolve around historically unionized labor forces, like warehouse workers, factory workers, all that shit, retail, you will absolutely, the first thing that they'll fucking show you is that union dues are terrible, labor unions are corrupt, you guys, like, you know, they legally can't say that you'll get fired, but they allude to it. They won't say you'll get fired, but they'll say it'll be too unprofitable, so, you know, we might have to close down this branch. They do not use anti-union rhetoric, believe it or not. That's literally not true. I have seen I've shown anti-union videos from Amazon on this platform. On my stream, I have literally shown you videos that Amazon uses in their training footage. Yeah, here, this is it.
Welcome. We're excited to have you at this training, specifically designed to give you the tools that you need for success when it comes to labor organizing. During this course, we'll cover several important topics, such as our position on unions,
we're not going to watch 30
associate rights, signs of employee
we're not going to watch all 30 minutes of it,
and
but
how to identify, escalate, and address associate concerns. In this section, you will learn Amazon's position.
By the way, you legally, if you ever see someone say, I will fire you if you unionize, don't clip that. Now you're going to clip that, but it doesn't matter. But if you ever say that, that's literally illegal. So you can report that to the NLRB and they will fucking try you. Ben Shapiro, Barstool, many people have said this in the past thinking they're being fucking funny or thinking that they literally will face no legal repercussions. Like, no, you can snitch on motherfuckers straight up. Right to work states literally make it illegal to join bargaining unions, don't they? Yes. Well, right to work has functionally destroyed, what is it called? Like the bargaining contracts that would extend sorry, union dues. There's two different ways that you can destroy unions: by making it so that people don't have to pay union dues, which is famously, yeah, right to work makes it so that unions can't collect dues. So that is for unions in the private sector. And then a similar thing happens in the public sector as well for public sector union employees, which is one is the Janus Act and the other one is the, hold on, let me pull up the actual information. I don't want to fuck this up. So, right to work laws create, make it so that it's like a union can't say you have to join a labor union in a specific field. Right to work is literally doublespeak. Yeah, I know. It also basically means, like, you know, you can be fired with no protection whatsoever, with absolutely no repercussions of the corporation for no reason whatsoever, because there's no fucking protection. There's no protective barrier. Labor unions are just job insurance under another name and still capitalist oppression. Okay, bro. All right, you got it. Okay, yeah. Fucking, we found the welfare state is a continuation of the capitalist state and must be abolished, Andy, over here. Jesus Christ, dude. Didn't TYT prevent unionization of their employees? Cenk did something that I vehemently disagree with, and I told him at the time as well, and I was very public about this, where instead of getting IATSE, or however the fuck you say it, to hold an anonymous vote, he wanted to have it in person, kind of like what Amazon was trying to do here. So yes, that is absolutely IATSE. That is absolutely a way to intimidate a workforce. Certainly. Like, intimidate a workforce against unionizing. Right to work laws make it so that non-union members don't have to contribute to unions, even if they benefit from union pay scale wages, which ends up making it so that unions don't have enough bargaining power to negotiate effectively. Without right to work laws, non-union members would still have to contribute if they were benefiting from union negotiations. Yes, that's why in places like fucking France and whatnot, even if the unionization rate is around 80%, the negotiated, like the union contracts expand beyond non-union members and still have them under their protective coverage. So you'll have two separate numbers when you look at unionization rates in every country. You have the actual unionized labor force percentage, and then you also have the contract, like what percentage of the labor force is still protected under union, like collective bargaining agreements, basically. And a lot of countries that might have smaller percentages of their labor force unionized will still have a much larger, nearly 100%, or, like an overwhelming majority of their labor force still get protected under collective bargaining agreements. Also, here's another fun fact. Never let any fucking Republican dipshit tell you that, like, they don't have unions in, like, Finland or whatever. First of all, wrong. I mean, sorry. Never tell. They won't say that because it's so transparently false that it doesn't fucking matter. They won't say that. They won't lie about that. But they will say there's no minimum wage. There's no, like, federal mandated minimum wage in some Nordic nations. And I think that there is still one. But the reason why there isn't is because if you have a completely near 100% unionized labor force, minimum wages straight up lower the lowest price that you can pay someone. Like, minimum wages drive down living wages in countries like Finland because of how much bargaining power that they have as a part of the unions. And because of how their contracts cover nearly the entirety of the fucking labor force. I live in a right to work state and I've never been fired. Equals still have job. Wait, isn't this the guy who was like talking about the Canary Islands? I know it's weird to bring up, but I just want to share that I cried for the first time in like 8 years. I'm 20, and I was told it was bad to cry as a man/boy, but seeing you being so sensitive, often openly on stream, helped me. Thanks for everything. There's nothing wrong with crying, brother. Actually makes you feel better. Australian union membership went from 40% to 14%. Even in the United States of America, where our labor force is Taft-Hartley. Yeah. Our labor force is only 11% unionized, which is a disastrous number. Like, the lowest out of any, like, the lowest by tenfold, basically, ninefold, or fucking eightfold. Even in this country, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, at the very least, union workers still make, I think, up to 20% more in wages than non-union workers, or at least unions have been able to increase wages by nearly 20%. In Canada, as a student, even when I was a part of the University Workers Union while I worked on campus part-time. Can you explain on a basic level what the benefits of unions and unionization are? Because I don't really understand. Yes, it's very simple. If you are divided, you beg. If you are united, you bargain. Right now, the way that profit is distributed under a capitalist organization of the economy, the wealth stays upwards. It trickles upwards all the time. So your bosses and those who represent the interests of your bosses control what to do with the profits, which is technically created with your labor, because there is no profit without labor. There is no value without labor. It's just an empty factory without labor. It's just sitting there, lowering the value of whatever kind of capital existed. Okay? So your bosses decide what to do with all the money. They decide to give you the wages. They determine the wages by setting the wages by looking at the supply and demand. But when you get together and unionize your workforce, you have an opportunity for the first time ever in your life to say, well, we'll just stop the work. We'll engage in what is known as a work stoppage or a strike, demonstrating the power that you have as a labor force. This is not a theory stream. I'm not describing anything like theory. That is your leverage. You leverage the power that you have with your work stoppage to get a larger distribution of the profits and also benefits, like healthcare, for example, and protection from being unjustly fired, or better work hours, paid leave, paid sick leave. Unions also have play a really important function in allowing every layman and every worker to participate in the democratic process in more meaningful ways. It plays a secondary role as an educational tool, teaching people constantly about how much power that they do have and how much worth that they have. But also, there is a camaraderie that comes from unionization and a feeling, a sense of entitlement that you can make change, that I think is really important, that the American working class is completely lost, that is completely fucking forgotten. The police union is now be stripped down. Honestly, a world where other parts of the economy have strong unions when the police union loses power. The problem is the police operate at the behest of capital. That's precisely why they have a functional and very strong union. Every other union, with the exception of the police union, operate for the working class. The police are the singular defense, like the last line of defense between the working class and capital owners. They also have a monopoly on legal violence. Yes, they do. That's why in leftist theory, or leftists will call cops class traitors, because cops are still working class. Their salaries are similar to a working class employee. They still work a salaried job. But they're working for the interests of capital. Police unions aren't unions. Unions protect workers from their managers. Police unions protect the police from consequences and from the public. Police unions are more like organized crime than a labor union. I mean, that's true too. The only thing I've experienced with unions is extreme nepotism. For example, all ports in my city are union jobs and 99% white workers because of that. In a city of 40% Asians, do other countries' unions not suffer from extreme nepotism? Unions have an interesting history, or like a really sad history with racism, of course. But also at the same time, this is another fun fact. Most people don't know this. When you look at unionized labor force members in the United States and you divide it by race, black unionized laborers make up a larger percentage of the black working class than white unionized laborers make up a percentage of the white working class. Like, literally the highest percentage, I think, of unionized workers are black. So unions nowadays, they can still be corrupt, of course. I mean, we saw that with the culinary union in Las Vegas, where the union bosses had interests that were diametrically opposed to the interests of the actual union workers. Workers knew what was up, though. Yeah, and they went against the interests of their union, or their demands of the union bosses were making. What's Hank Pecker's stance on unions? Fucking terrible, brother. It's communism. Are you kidding me? You want to fucking unionize? How about you unionize on this dick? Get the fuck out of here. Goddamn lazy bastards. I do what I want with the profit. After all, I pick myself up by my own goddamn bootstraps. When I brought you into this job, I brought you into this world, brother. A lot of conservatives will point to some EU countries saying not everyone's unionized here, but like you said, often CBAs cover more people. 50% of our labor force is unionized, but the CBAs cover 96%. Yep, there it is. Worker participation, or like a contractual coverage of collective bargaining agreements encompass nearly the majority, if not, or nearly the totality, if not the overwhelming majority of the labor force in European countries. Yeah, C-Mac, what do you mean about Belgian? When you're moderating, you're goddamn American. The other weird thing that I find strange because of a lack of like comprehensive understanding of unions in the United States of America is like unionized workers making a larger percentage of a larger share of the profits in fields that end up making billions of dollars, like actors, writers, okay, and athletes, professional athletes. These are all unionized workers. They are still making money directly off of their labor and get a salary or wages off of that labor. The fact that they make millions of dollars does not change that reality. So technically, they are still workers. So whenever people say, oh, fuck those guys, they're fucking spoiled. And I've heard about similar things happening with, I believe, was it the bus drivers, like the ferry union in the UK, where like other working class members were shitting on the bus drivers union, which is like pretty solid from what I understand in the UK, from engaging in work stoppages where they were like, why are they complaining? They make more than everybody else. It's like, well, that's the point. Train conductors, sorry. Yes, you're right. The tube. The fucking tube drivers union. And there is absolutely nothing that's better for those who control our society, those who own capital, than to watch the working class fight amongst itself because one sector of the working class makes more money than the other. Divided along the lines of race or divided along the lines of industry and sector, it does not matter. There is no bigger fucking gift to Jeffrey Jebediah Bezos and numerous other owners of capital than watching the working class fight amongst itself for one sector having more money than the other. more money that they've been able to secure for themselves with labor unions especially.